Stealing Story.
Did you steal my story?
What's the overlap?
Yeah, I think there's something about your voice, there's something about your energy.
Okay.
Very kind of like grounded
Cool.
strength in a small package.
Yeah, that's a pretty good compliment.
There we
What
go.
about me? Do me. Tom Cruise?
The exact opposite.
Brad Pitt?
Very kind of airy, floaty, flaky in a...
Oh, no, I'm Owen Wilson?
Well, you like Midnight in Paris, so.
I do.
Yeah. You like everything Woody Allen's done.
I was going to say, I was waiting if it was coming, and it did. Look, I don't like his movies. Big fan of the man, though.
Ooh, good talking with you.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
And on that note, welcome back to Steele My Story, the podcast where we bring on a guest to tell one true story and one stolen story. Ooh. I'm your host, Alexa Steele. This is my co-host, Ian Fisher, and our very special guest today, David Reale. What do you think?
Wow, that was really good.
Was that good?
Felt like we were in
Yeah.
Godfather,
It
too.
You were just like my grandmother.
Oh my gosh. Wow,
Dead.
amazing.
Sorry, I'm thinking of my own grandparents.
I was... one of my grandmothers is alive, but I was thinking of the one who's dead when I said... that you reminded me
So
of
I'm
her.
not the asshole.
I'm not an asshole either, but just because my grandmother's dead doesn't make me an asshole.
Yeah, you're a bit of a schmuck.
You remind me of my dead grandma.
Good people keep their grandmothers alive.
Is that the
In their
case?
hearts?
In their-
What was the biggest check you ever got from your grandma?
I don't know, but my grandmother spells my name like just phonetically. She used to know how to spell it, but I think she kind of forgot. And now she just spells it how she says it. And she just calls me Deve. Deve. Deve.
Eve.
And so she writes, now when she sends me a check, she writes D-E-V-E. And the bank doesn't seem to mind. It's just made out to Deve.
So you do get
You're
checks
like-
from your grandma.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
It's because he's cashing them at Money Mart. They don't seem to mind. Cash for you? They give me half of the value. They don't care at all.
Yeah.
So times are tough.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
Backtrack. I
the
want to. I
editors.
want to tell people everything you've been on. I know you've been on The Boys. I know you've been on Molly's Game.
Yes.
May I say any other words?
Suits, the number one show
Suits!
on Netflix.
Oh my gosh, on
Number one
Suits.
show on Netflix.
Do you guys know Meghan Markle?
Yeah, I knew Megan. I worked
Miss
with Megan.
Meghan.
David is an actor who's had a phenomenal career. You've worked since you were a kid.
Phenomenal.
I've worked for a long time. Yeah, I haven't saved any of the money.
Yeah, well, that's just the reality
why-
of
that's
every
why-
actor.
That's why I'm here.
That's why I'm
We
here.
only have him for 20 minutes, so we got to get to the hard-hitting questions. We
Yeah.
can only afford him for so long.
I had to get across town, and you said you'd cover the Uber, so that got me here. And then I just got some business in a back alley afterwards.
And then you
No,
gotta stop at Money Mart.
we're really lucky to have you, and we're really happy you're here. And David and I are dear friends. We work together in the back alley where I'm meeting him after this. It's work for me. It's fun for him. No, but we've worked together on a couple things through the years, and we met in an acting class probably like 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we've done a couple pods, and we've never enjoyed a single moment together. So thank you for booking him this week, Alexa.
Oh, no problem. Well, you keep saying that we have a guest from The Boys, and we never had a guest from The Boys up until now.
Yeah, I thought it was Meg-
welcome,
I'm here to
David.
fill that quota. Make you
We
not a
have
liar.
to check off every single TV show that's been filmed here, so
Mm-hmm.
we've covered Suits now as well.
American
Bam.
Gods, right? You did that as well?
Oh,
Did
American
American Gods.
Cool.
Yeah, American Gods, Suits,
That's
The Boys.
is that still?
No, I think
Oh,
that's
okay.
that's
Too
done.
bad. I like
yeah.
that show.
Yeah, yeah. Are you piping in laughter?
Oh yeah, always, always.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
We got to bake that in.
That'll fill out the silences.
I think you should just add laughter right here, just so that.
Just right now, a giant laugh track for everyone driving.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens now?
Oh my god!
It's so funny. I got invited on this podcast, and then no one told me what the format was.
That's how we trick you.
And then you
Yeah,
were,
we just kind of like to see the guests squirm a little bit.
Oh,
We
I
like to
see.
see what happens.
Yeah.
We like when you guys sweat. We actually are pretty, willy-nilly over here.
Yeah.
You do know that you had to prepare stories,
I
though.
did hear
Or did
about
you
that.
just learn that when I said it right now?
No, I thankfully we went to a movie the other night, and you mention that to me as I was leaving. Like I was riding my bike away. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, you need to do a story.
By the way, I really need you to do all the homework while we just sit here and judge you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really great show because it makes our lives easier. We don't got to do anything.
Yeah.
I know. I really think I should change the beginning to, the show where we bring on the guests to do all the work while we sit back and say, oh, wow,
yeah.
very, whoa.
Yeah, we're really good at expressive eyes now.
Yeah, I think so. I think I've trained myself to be like,
Yeah.
Do you think it's made
well.
you a better actor because you're pretending to listen to the guests while they're talking?
No, not at all.
David,
If
who do you
anything,
think's
it's
the
made
better
me worse.
actor between the three of us?
Alexa's probably the best.
Oh, no, you're the best.
No.
Who's the worst?
Well, given this conversation, no one. You weren't in the running.
Guys, I feel like we gotta. I'm just doing the math here on a couple of these answers. Well, let's restart the question. Why am I the best actor?
Yeah, it has to do with you're really in touch with your humanity.
Yeah, you've always found me to be
Not
Incredibly humble,
sociopathic
yeah.
at all.
So on Reddit, somebody shared one of the episodes of this podcast,
Yeah.
and I was going through the comments, and they're all like, "Oh my God, Degrassi! So happy to see these three back together. Oh, look, Lyle looks so great, so fun. Olivia's here. Oh, I love Alex Steele." One comment: "Who is that random guy, and why does he look so mad to be there?"
Yeah, if anybody is wondering, I'm actually holding Ian here at gunpoint. He has to be on.
It had a lot of upvotes, more than I would have liked. Enough that I thought about being like, I just have resting bitch face. I was happy to be there.
Who is the biggest celebrity you've had on this show?
On this show?
You're looking at her.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. We've had a few. We've had a winner of Survivor on.
Yeah.
We've had
Oh.
a bunch of the Degrassi cast. Tanaj is in The Lion King.
Yeah, Lion King play right now here in Toronto.
Tom
Did you
Cruise
get
was here. Is he his big celebrity?
I don't
He was here a
know.
couple
I
weeks
wouldn't
ago.
say.
He
Yeah.
used
Yeah,
to
is he
be.
still? Do listeners know who he is?
Not the
he's-
young ones.
Yeah, he actually said I was the best actor on that show too. It was me, Daniel Day-Lewis, and Meryl Streep and Alexa, and he picked me. It was really crazy.
So Tom Cruise was
Why'd
there
you
too?
add me in that?
We had
list?
another. We have a fourth seat.
Tom Cruise was just holding the boom mic.
Yeah. He's a
And he
producer.
did great at it.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much all the.
Yeah, so far,
Celebs.
maybe it's you, my friend.
Yeah, honestly, maybe you're the biggest.
I
don't
once
know.
was at a bar with you, and someone came up to you and recognized you.
What did they say?
Are you from Suits?
Really?
Yeah, in New York City.
Well, in New York City.
New York City, the Big
Wow.
Apple.
Damn.
You were a lot
big,
like
yeah.
Trump. You got the man of the hour walking around New York. Everyone wanted to shake your hand.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
King of New York.
Yeah. I'm more like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone 2.
Like people are like, oh, he's there, but should he be alone?
Yeah.
He's eating pizza.
Everyone's like really suspicious. I love that he's alone in the city and people are like, what's this kid doing here alone? Like they're going to catch him. Who sees an 8-year-old alone and is like, I know what you're up to, kid. You have no family. Like, it's not his fault.
Right. They should be calling the police immediately.
They should be feeling compassion,
Yeah.
not feeling suspicion.
Hunting him. The other nice thing is when you're in New York City, they're also convinced that your hotel room is gonna. The credit card's not gonna work.
My credit card never works.
Declined always.
Yeah, it declined.
Back alley work again.
Absolutely.
Did you ever audition for Home Alone? I was up for the Pesci part. Yeah, in '89.
I can see that.
I used to be able to do a good Daniel Stern in Home Alone. Hang on. Whoops.
Oh, the mic didn't like it.
For audio listeners right now, he's doing the face
Hang on.
perfectly.
Hang on, I can do the voice too. Hang on. Harry, he's just a kid.
Wow!
Wow, that was really good.
That was really good.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
I didn't know who, honestly, you were going to do because I didn't know the name that you just spit out, so I was...
Oh, yeah.
But now I know who it is.
But then when he did it, you could tell?
I
Harry,
knew who it was immediately.
we're the wet bandits.
We're the wet
Wow.
bandits! Amazing.
Hey, I'm going to do one. You guys tell me if you know who this is. Ready? This is, I'm sorry, audio listeners, but I'm sure they'll do very descriptive audio. But video listeners, you're in for a treat.
That's all you ever do. And the other day, you tried to do an impression of somebody else. Who were you trying to do?
Well, for the
Oh, yeah,
record,
for anybody listening, he just did a great Robert De
a
Niro
perfect
face.
De Niro face.
But it's the only face you have. You tried to do someone else the other day, and you did that face.
I'll do Barack Obama right now. This is just further incentive for people to pause and go on YouTube and subscribe to the show.
Yeah.
Because you get to see
my
see
YouTube
face impressions.
Yeah.
You get to see shameless plugs.
I can do an impression of a kid in my grade 3 elementary school class. His name was... What was his name? He was...
What was his name?
Okay, well, we can't really.
His name was
say
also
if this
David.
Is a good impression or not.
Did his grandmother spell his name phonetically?
I forget, but he looked like this.
Oh.
Does that look like him?
I think you're doing the wet bandit face, to be honest with you.
He smiled like that.
How's he doing now, you think?
I haven't heard about him in a long time. Hope he's okay. Don't know his name. I wouldn't know if someone were talking about him.
I hope
wouldn't know
he's
that they were.
okay. I don't know who he is, and I don't remember his name.
Probably doing better than us, probably.
Yeah. In many ways, we've set the bar pretty low.
I mean, my podcast has now become exclusively an impressionist show, I guess.
And people love impressionists and magicians. They find them sexy.
Just face impressions on a podcast.
Yeah, an audio format podcast. Like, we never said we knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually never know what I'm doing on this show, so there you go. That's a secret just for you guys listening and watching.
Which is one of the reasons we make the guests do all the work. Now, speaking of
work, get to work. Tell us some stories.
Okay.
Are you a good liar? Just off the top.
I guess we'll find out.
do you...
I used to be. I lied a lot as a kid.
Oh, there you go.
Big time, elaborate lies.
Love it. Just because you
Really?
wanted to, or just because you were nervous?
Nervous, wanted to get out of doing homework, wanted to get out of going to school.
Yeah.
We didn't want to get in trouble. Yeah.
I know it's kind of a hack question, but was that one of the reasons you decided, like, you thought you could be an actor as a kid, where you were like, "Ooh, I'm lying all the time"? Maybe
I thought, first of all, I thought you said, I know it's kind of a hat question.
I know we're all wearing hats, as video listeners
What would
know.
be a hat question? Hey, is that a hat?
Yeah, Ian's got a really great hat.
I do have a
that
fun
he
hat
bought
on
in Mexico, and it just has a picture of a horse, and then above it, it says horse.
Yeah, it's like
Just in case.
from a children's book, learning to speak English.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is pretty much about my education level at this point, anyway.
Yeah.
And is that how you spell it? Oh.
You know? Yes.
What was your hack question?
Well, whether or not were you already an actor then, and were you like was it like maybe confusion when you're getting paid?
I was, because I lied a lot and because I was like very energetic and dramatic and attention seeking. My grade 4
So you
teacher.
said what?
Those are all the qualities of any good actor.
Yeah.
Just in case you guys wanted to know.
My teacher in grade 4. My mom did not want me to have an ADHD diagnosis. I don't know if you know this about immigrant parents. They're like not down for any medical intervention whatsoever. My child is fine. So
He go to school like American child. He work after like American child. He good factory worker. He not need attention.
that's exactly what my mom said.
Yeah, I've met her. Yeah.
And so I got into acting at around age of 10. Around age of 10.
Age of 10, good factory worker. Very little hands. Work as long as a full-grown man.
So yeah, it was because of the lying.
Nice, yeah.
What was the biggest fib that you can recall as a kid that you told? That you were like, oh my god, this is a Watergate level lie. That
Ooh,
done
I've got a good one.
Oh, do
go
you?
First.
No.
Or should I go first?
I mean, if you were...
I've got a really good one.
Yeah, bring
This
it.
one time, okay, this girl, Sarah, who I ended up being best friends with later on, but she really was pissing me off at recess, and me and my friend were just, like, lying down in the grass, like, just watching clouds, and she would not stop bothering us, so I kicked her in the face. And then I lied to the teacher and said, I was just trying to scratch my leg. And like, she was leaning over. I didn't know if she was gonna be there. And I just accidentally kicked her. But
You know how you scratch a leg with kicking?
Yeah, I 100% meant to kick her in the face. Anyway, we became like best friends. So sorry, Sarah. You're probably not watching this. I'm assuming she was incredibly smart. She had like a photographic memory and learned Japanese in grade 8.
She's a CIA agent now.
She's 100% CIA.
She doesn't need hats with
Does
animal
she
names
know
on
you
it.
kicked her in the face on purpose?
She 100% knows because we laughed about it.
Okay.
I definitely told her.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I did a similar thing once that I even talked about on another podcast, and then someone in the comments wrote, like, this is what's wrong with this generation. So I'm a little self-conscious to tell it now, but I did a similar thing in the Sandbox. This kid was bullying me, and so I pantsed myself. and full-on underwear and jeans down, dinky out.
Dinky out.
Well, because, you know, I'm back then now, so my cock was out. Didn't seem as
When do
fitting.
you get a cock? That's not. You don't. Like,
where do you get one?
As a child, it's not. If you have a penis as a child, it's not a cock.
Let's
yet.
not.
Let's not determine what age, kids.
No, I don't want to do
18,
that.
David. At 18, you get a cock.
Let's line up some photographs of children throughout puberty, and let's see when's the point when you can start calling it that.
You've been working in Hollywood a long time. What was Diddy's parties like? Were they as fun as Epstein's Island?
Okay, so hang on. You pantsed yourself.
Pantsed myself. And I did like a suicide bombing pantsing. Like I pantsed myself and then I screamed and cried. And then the supervisor came and like, what's wrong? And I pointed at him and I went, he pantsed me.
Amazing.
While sobbing, and they took him right to the office.
Wow. Amazing.
That's really good. So you're being bullied and then you top the bullying
That's
like
better than
Eminem.
mine.
Because, I knew I was a coward. I could never out-bully him.
Yes. What was that movie called? 8 Mile?
8 Mile.
Like Eminem and 8 Mile going like saying all the things about me that you were going to say, stealing all your material. So I'm going to go one further. I'm going to bully myself harder. Then the bully's like, what? Whoa, what's going on? Look at this dinky in my face. I got to get out of here.
Imagine the bully too was like, Ian's got a small dinky. And I 8 Miled myself being like, oh, prove it.
Yeah? Did you think it was this small? And he's like, whoa, I had no idea.
I thought you had a huge cock.
Yeah. And then he gets in trouble.
He got in trouble. Wow. Yeah. So
Masterful.
just think next time what I might do to you motherfuckers when you say I'm not the best actor in the crew.
We'll remember that next time.
Yeah, I don't want your dinky involved.
The
in this.
wide shot cuts. My dinky's been out the whole time. I'm not wearing pants.
I called it a winky when I was a kid.
Dude.
Yeah.
I'm on board with that.
Winky.
I don't have one, so I didn't really use any sort of.
What did you call them
descriptive-
though? You talked about
You know
them.
what?
All the time.
All the time. Growing up, my mom, to describe these things, would call it a patotoi.
A patotoi.
Yeah. So there
Hang
you go.
on, is that a-
Anybody
is that a-
Filipino out there, you might know that word.
Is that a penis or a vagina?
That's a penis.
A
A
patotoi.
vagina is a peck.
peck.
Your peck.
Your peck.
Go
I
clean
like
your
that.
peck.
Go clean your peck.
My child is cleanest pick in all of America.
But you don't have any brothers.
No, I only
So
have
she
me and
was
my
saying that to
sister.
your father? Go clean your peck.
I don't really know. No, peck is the vagina.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
I also got it backwards.
Go
Yeah,
clean your peck.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Peck sounded phallic to me.
It does sound. It does.
When I was winky was penis and vagina was piscetta.
like
Everything in Italian
prosciutto?
sounds like a wonderful appetizer.
Yeah. Go get the cheese board and make sure you get the prosciutto.
Yeah, lots of
Lick the
prosciutto.
prosciutto.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little close to prosciutto, isn't
Yeah.
it?
You know what? I'm so glad.
You want a cantaloupe with the piscetta around it.
People are like, hey, you get a couple of Canadian TV icons in the same room. Mm-hmm. Me and Alexa. And finally, like, I wish we could hear what they called their private parts as kids. And this is the only show that gives you that. So sorry, Smart List. Sorry, Call Her
Sorry.
Daddy. Sorry.
I think modern parenting, they suggest using the correct names for private parts to give children more confidence and more
Why would that
ability
make
to
them
Do they do that?
more ability to advocate for themselves. It's like, it's a penis.
Oh.
This is my penis.
I feel like to make the
Right.
words not as
Not as
weird,
childish.
yeah.
Because then it's like, what's going on?
if you're not allowed to say the word, that then kind of gives that word a bit of mystery and like a kind of weird other power.
But where do you draw the
Yeah.
line? Is it, do you still do the stork thing? Or are you like, hey, we fucked to make you?
Yeah, I think you do say that.
You say that?
Yeah.
Are you? I don't know. Are you?
Yeah. I
You know
think-
what? Our friend who has a kid is coming soon. We're gonna have to ask
Okay,
him
great.
what he said.
Hey, 2 or 3 year old.
And if the kid hasn't asked, we're gonna tell the kid to
Yeah.
ask.
I thought you said if the kid has an ass.
The kid hasn't asked.
know,
Oh my gosh.
But we all said bum, right?
Bum, yeah.
Yeah. Bum.
Bum.
Tummy. Tummy's one that sticks with you to an adult.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
not
My
nice.
tummy hurts.
You still say tummy.
Do you say my stomach hurts?
Yeah. I never say tummy.
Do you ever say stummy? Stomach plus tummy? I like stummy.
And you know what? You do say that.
I say, oh, my stummy is looking so sexy. It's got such a good six pack. That's the context I say it, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you remember your lie, the biggest lie you said as a kid?
Oh, yes. In 8th grade, I again used bullying to my advantage because I was a bullied child.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you were the bully.
Yeah,
No,
I used
I was
bullying
not
to
the
my
bully.
advantage as the bully.
It was actually so bizarre because as soon as I started acting, like when I was 14, I started auditioning for film and TV stuff, and I was cast as bullies exclusively. And I didn't know what, and I was so not like, I was bullied my whole life. I was never the cool kid. I was always the kind of the weirdo. And then I start acting, and I'm like, one of my first roles, I was bullying Shia LaBeouf.
In what movie?
In True Confessions was it True Confession? I think it was called True Confessions. And I threw a basketball at his head. And
No
then
way.
Yeah, and then in another movie I remember my name was Baron McKay. This was called
Baron, that's a bully
Cat's
name.
Alley Cat Strike,
Alley Cat Strike.
which was a bowling movie.
Oh.
And
Where can they stream it?
I was a bully in that. I don't know. I think it's probably on Disney. Why do you do this to the guest?
We do a lot of prop comedy with the guest. Here, stick it
And
a little
also,
bit closer.
I'm sure it's fine like this.
This couch
Like,
is actually
it
made of
doesn't
cake.
need this. It has that.
It's a spit guard.
Oh, a spit guard.
Yeah,
'cause we
put
know
it a little
you're
bit closer
pretty,
to the thing. Yeah, there you go.
We know you're pretty, with,
Yeah. Very. Yeah.
with your speech.
That's the technical term.
Because you spit on your bruschetta.
You're pretty salivic. How would you say that?
Slavic. Eastern European.
Yeah, that's what you're trying to say, right? Yeah, you're European. Okay,
what was I saying?
You booked with Shia LaBeouf. You were always a bully.
I
this is
played
not who you
a
were.
bully, and then in this Disney movie, they didn't ask if I could play basketball or not. One of the first days of shooting, I'm supposed to be dominating on the basketball court, and I could not dribble. Like I was hitting the
Flat
basketball
hand.
off of my foot, and it was going down. And the director was so frustrated, and it was humiliating. And the dynamic off screen, like all the kids knew, oh, this is a loser kid. So and they were like, and so I was, and then they call action, and they're all acting like they're scared of me, and I'm like. Inside, I'm just humiliated and terrified, and they're all cooler than me, being paid way more than I am.
Oh my
And I'm
gosh.
supposed to, and that's been the kind of my whole
Career.
That's the career.
Is the cast at some point realizing, oh, this guy's a loser
He's a
kid.
loser. Yeah, so that was interesting. I kind of stopped playing bullies and started playing. I'm back to playing bullies again, but now I'm more of an asshole in life. So
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
access
It's
Yeah.
really hardened you. To
I
the-
find that, well, at least what things we've, like in Timberwood,
Yeah.
the pilot we did together, you played like a nerdy, kind of like, I was
Loser.
thinking about this last night.
bullying from a low status.
Yeah, a loser who bullies.
Yes, that was the marriage of who I really was and who the industry wanted me to be.
But behind the scenes, like completely, I was thinking about this last night. I actually couldn't sleep, and I knew you were coming on the show, and I was like, David is so
excited.
far not that in real life. It's hilarious that you do get cast as that, because like in real life, yeah, you're an asshole. You're always flirting with all the ladies on set. You're always being cool. I find you to be a cool guy.
I love your impression of what a cool guy is. An asshole who flirts with the ladies.
You can tell that Ian probably took one of those like dating coach courses at a young age.
Do you guys remember Johnny Bravo?
Oh yeah, John,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just watched that a lot as a kid. Like, this is a cool guy.
Oh my gosh, really? That's so funny. I hated that show because he made me so uncomfortable.
I like Johnny Bravo. You could do Johnny Bravo for Halloween.
Live action?
Yeah, you just like put your hair up. You could be kind of
Okay,
Johnny Bravo.
yeah.
I
got
like
the-
that you
got
guys
the
think
jaw.
he's a cool guy, and all I was like, he's harassing women the whole time.
Every 8-year-old boy is like, this is what being a man
This is
is.
what being a man is.
Yeah, right. Indoctrinated into toxic masculinity
Right, from the get-go.
Cartoon Network.
Not
Hell
me,
yeah.
though.
Okay, so the biggest lie I ever told, one of them, there were so many, but using bullying to my advantage, in 8th grade, I didn't do any of my homework ever, because again, undiagnosed ADHD, just going to drama camp, hoping that will help, but it didn't help in school. And so we had to hand in our notebooks, and our teacher would mark that we had done all the homework. My notebook was entirely empty. So I didn't hand it in, and I said, I don't know where it is. And she's like, okay, well, I got to give you a 0. And I was like, okay, but I'm looking for it. I thought it was here. Then that night, I borrowed a friend's notebook. I took my notebook, and I copied a bunch of the work into my notebook. Then I ripped out a bunch of the pages of the notebook, graffitied it, threw it in the dirt. I didn't piss on it, but that was the energy. Like I was
Yeah.
I drew dinkies on it. I was just like, and then I hid it in the cubbies in the hallway outside of the classroom. And I didn't say a word. I'm in class the next day. Someone comes into the class and is like, our teacher was named Mrs. Payne Show. It's like, Mrs. Payne Show. And I'm like, walks up and gives her this notebook. Like, I found this outside. And she reads it, and I'm like, not saying anything. And it's kind of hard to find my name, but you could see underneath all of the coffee stains and dirt, it's David's notebook. And she calls me up. She goes, David, is this yours? And I went, oh, that's my notebook. What happened? And because I was
Amazing.
bullied,
The acting.
she came to the conclusion that obviously I'd been terrorized. Someone stole my notebook and had vandalized it and thrown it out. So,
Dude.
and I
Wow.
got away with it. But like all criminals, I tried to do it again. And then she got wise to me because I didn't do as good a job the next time.
Sloppy. You got sloppy.
And I remember my mom getting called to the school, and I'm just being like, I'm caught in this mess.
And did you know the next one was a lie too? Because you could have been like, hey, the first one was real and it inspired me to do this lie.
Huh.
But then you did a third one. You're
did
like,
she
that
say,
one
like,
was actually
oh.
real again.
He's actually the serial killer who's been killing all these missing
Yeah.
women.
I was like, Mom, this isn't my teacher. I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know who this woman is.
She could be
She's like, we got to just get this
She
kid
took
some
my
Adderall.
notebook and she pissed on it. And then what's your mother's number? Yeah.
I had a question for you regarding the brilliance of that plan, because like it involves a third party who doesn't even know they're lying. Like you had a Lee Harvey Oswald or something. You had a
Yes.
Patsy. Because it wasn't you coming in and saying, I found that. The brilliance of some random person who's
Yeah.
not lying because they did find it.
Yes.
That's next level, like
Yeah.
evil genius origin stories.
Yeah, I took the risk of it not getting turned in and left the evidence. there.
Yeah.
That's the beginning of an acting career right there.
That's the beginning. Well, actually, and not to get too lame here, but what I discovered then about acting was that it's actually
Living truthfully under imaginary
it
circumstances.
is actually about being truthful, because the lies, everyone knows what the lies are. You're not whoever, like you're not the character. This is a script. All this fake. So the job of the actor is to sort of get in touch with the truth of who you are, the truth of being present, the truth of like how you feel in a moment, and expressing that. And so all of my history of lying didn't help really at all.
I was just going to say, I'm like, wow, this turned from an impression podcast to now teaching you guys how to act, but ixnay that.
No.
Because...
Well, do you think maybe you should have bullied Shia LaBeouf in real life then to apply some of this lesson? To be like, oh, if I'm actually mean to him at the lunch line.
Yeah. He was so cool, actually. I was like, I shared a van with him to set, and we were, whatever, I think we were about the same age. So I think at the time we were both 14 or 15. And he was just so, like one of these people that's like so obsessive and interested in things. Like he was like, who are the bands in Toronto? And like he was all, and I was like, I don't know. I'm just a
That is
loser.
so funny that you bring up Joe Louis, or Joe Louis.
Joe Louis.
Wait.
Alexa's been listening the whole time. A good story. Ah, yes.
It's so amazing that you're talking about.
Ah, yes. Louis Armstrong could play the sax. We'll be returning after this break from our
I
sponsor.
got my wires crossed. The guest who was here before you
In the last
also
episode. Yeah, Nug.
Yeah, I know. You were interrupting me. So in the last episode, Nug also has a story about Shia LaBeouf. He worked with him and showed him Joe Louis.
Oh, showed him Joe Louis. Yeah.
Yes.
Nug Hangrahang. How do you say Nug's last name? Nug
Don't do this to us.
Nug Nargrahang is how I'm
Yes.
going to say it.
You
Let's
know
put
what,
his
I'm
name
s-
up on the screen.
yeah.
It is hard to say.
Yeah, I didn't say his last name when I introduced him. I was too nervous.
His first name's
I
so
got
easy.
nervous. Yeah.
First name, I
Nug.
love that first name.
You're
Yeah.
never going to forget it.
Yeah.
Nug. What's your last name? Nargrahang.
I never want to say anyone's last. Like, we've been friends a long time. Today, we had to clarify how to say your last name.
There's many ways to say it.
That's why I did the bad Italian impression, because I was nervous to say the
That was a
last name.
brilliant Italian impression, just like
Thank you.
Nonna.
Just like Nona.
I was having flashbacks to when she was
Rest
still
in
with
peace,
us.
Nona.
Yeah.
When you were hanging out with Spencer Davis.
Hey, speaking of Mike Tyson, just last week. You learned that in like one of those books of like how to keep a conversation going. Just pretend that the other person has said the thing that you want to talk about.
It's just an organic. Yeah, that's crazy. You were mentioning Red Bull earlier today.
Yeah.
That's
Huh,
wild.
how about that?
Yeah. Should we get to it?
Oh, yeah. Wow, what a lovely natural conversation we've been having, huh? Yeah, can you tell us your stories now?
Sure.
So, audience, if it's your first time listening to the show, that was not a lie or a truth at all. What David just said, we know that was a true story.
I don't know, do we?
Like, regular listeners of the show might have been like, oh was that a lie or a truth that they're going to guess? That was actually just 100% a true story.
Yes.
now-
About lying.
About
Yeah.
lying. So
Yeah.
this was the precursor to now 2 stories, 1 truth, 1 lie. We've gathered that you're a pretty good liar, probably.
Used
most
to be.
likely.
Out of practice.
Once upon a time.
until he gets sloppy. Pretty good until he blows it.
Yeah. All right, well.
Here I go.
Perform.
Launch.
Oh my god!
Okay,
Action.
We finally have a friend on the show. We make him feel as more uncomfortable than any other guest.
Story number 1.
Ooh.
Is it true? Is it not true? When I was a kid, I was with my parents, and we got mugged. Well, I guess they got mugged. I didn't have any money.
Oh my gosh, is this the story about how you became Batman? Because his parents got mugged. They died, though.
Well, I wasn't going to say that I was Batman because that's a secret identity.
Oh.
So even if I
Sorry,
was,
guys.
I wouldn't. Actually, that was where I was going with that. But I was going to see how far I could get into the Batman story before you're like,
Were you
this
actually
is
gonna?
Batman. Yeah.
No.
As a prank on us.
As a prank. But that's not
okay.
that's not one of my stories. I was
okay,
like,
okay.
this will be a quick throwaway
You were
thing.
too smart. You ruined his bit.
Sorry, I got that
You just
a little
hear
too
mugging.
quick.
I
I
guess
was like, parents getting mugged. I'm like, Batman.
I was really so I'm not a good liar.
No,
I was
no,
really
it's
trying
because
to go.
Batman talks about that all the time.
He won't shut up about
There's
it.
not one episode that you can watch without him talking about his parents dying.
I shouldn't have said got mugged. I should have said like
Robbed
I should have said I was
by a
like,
man in a clown mask.
one story is the time my parents got robbed. That's what I should have said, and then I could be like, we were. But if I'd said like we had just gone to a movie.
We'd gone to
We'd gone to watch a play, theater.
Okay,
dad
so
had
hang on.
just
Let
finished-
me try another one. Sorry.
I'm so sorry. Did I?
No.
ruin that?
Here's the actual story. No, that was the point. It was to see how far I get. Here's the actual story. At my christening, which is like a well, it wasn't really like a baptism.
I know
but
what
like,
I know what it is.
you know.
I'm also baptized.
Okay, yeah.
I don't. For listeners who don't know, like myself, what is that?
Well, this is not. But first of all, this is not a christening.
Oh.
This was more of like in my culture. You kind of like if you're not going to be, you kind of get introduced to the community as an infant,
Oh, okay.
and you know, family and friends come, and there's there's a priest, like a baptism was kind of like a shaman sort of a deal because it was like whatever. And my father was kind of like the head of our community, I guess you'd say. Sounds like a cult. I was kind of raised in a cult.
Oh.
And and so because I was the firstborn boy, I was gonna like take over. Everyone knew this is now the person who's
Well,
going
you
to
were
heir.
the Don.
I was like the Don.
Oh my gosh.
And my father's brother, who had always kind of been
Is
in.
this the Lion King?
This is the Lion King.
Oh!
Ian, you are just so slow on the uptake. Alexa is on it.
Because I trust you.
Ooh.
I was like your stupid teacher, thinking that you were just a bully
Not like a
piece of
Christian,
shit.
but just introducing me to everybody.
Well, because here's the thing. I was
Guys,
like,
I'm pretty impressed, actually. You got both of those. I mean, the Batman
Thank
one was
you.
too fast.
Sorry, that was weird of me.
now there was a huge payoff. You guessed that Batman one like that, and then the Lion King one, and meanwhile
Lion
I'm
King
like,
one was good.
I was like, this guy's dad was in a cult.
But
I know. I was gonna be like, oh my god, a cult. This is so good. This is such good stuff for the show.
Yeah, now-
Tell us more about your traumatic
Sorry,
experiences.
I'm sorry. Okay, all right.
Now I don't trust him at all.
I don't
I
trust him at all.
promise you, I will not do any more
You're
movie
throwing us
misdirections.
off.
I promise you.
This is classic misdirection,
Okay.
but it's working.
Wait a minute. Some old homework with piss on it. Stuffed into the couch cushions?
Good cushions.
Last year,
Yes.
actually this past summer, I was going to New York City to meet up with my girlfriend. On the plane ride down, I see, well, first of all,
9/11. Sorry.
Oh my god.
no, but the film with Nicolas Cage, World Trade Center. No. No, this was just this past summer.
Okay.
And I was in the whatever lounge area before you get on the plane. I was leaving from Toronto Island Airport.
Oh, the porter or no?
It
Billy
was-
Bishop. Yep.
Yeah,
Bishop,
Billy
sorry.
Bishop.
Yeah.
I forget the airline, but it was Billy Bishop Airport.
Yeah, you don't name the airline because they didn't pay to sponsor us.
Yeah.
I forget which airline, but it could have been Air Canada if they were willing to cough up a little bread.
Yeah, which airline is
Yeah.
sponsoring this?
None yet.
So I see walking in just to the regular human lounge, ex-Prime Minister Stephen Harper. Prime Minister of Canada for our American listeners who don't know anything
He was
about.
like the president, but for Canada.
Yeah.
Before Trudeau, our George Bush equivalent, I guess.
Yes.
in
Yeah,
a way,
he was doing
right?
it at the same
during
time.
that time. Yeah.
As- Also Barack.
Yeah. Right.
Some of Barack.
Oh.
Anyways, so Stephen Harper, what is a conservative, sort of Canada's version of the conservative leadership kind of option. If you want to, we have more parties than y'all do, but if you want it to be equivalencies,
We have more parties than y'all do is also what Shia
Yeah.
LaBeouf said to you in the van.
that's what all the kids said to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'm like, oh, cool. I didn't want to say anything to him, but I was like, cool, it was the prime minister. I get on the plane. There's a first class section, whatever, business class, but I'm in the regular section behind that. Who sits down beside me in the regular economy passenger section of the plane? Stephen Harper.
Oof.
A man of the people.
So I share a plane ride. It's only like an hour to New York. But I'm sitting beside Stephen Harper, and we get to talking. He's very nice to me. I get him to call my mother, because I knew my mother would be so excited.
On the plane?
She had voted for him. From the tarmac.
Okay.
Is that what you call that, the runway? The
Yeah.
tarmac. We were actually delayed like 25 minutes on the runway. So we get to talking. I mean, we talk about all kinds of stuff. I sort of challenged him about gay marriage because it's one thing I could remember from his
It's like
leadership
6
thing.
a.m. He's like, got his
No.
headphones in. You're like,
Well, actually, he was talking to me first. He was asking me things, and I was like going to watch some TV shows or whatever, and he was like, wouldn't kind of stop. So we get talking. Anyways, we kind of hit it off, or I guess he liked me, and he's like, "Where are you going when we get to New York?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm going. My girlfriend's on the Upper West Side." He's like, "Well, I'll drive you. You can come with my driver." And so we share a car up to, like, he was going, I don't know where he was going, but he was going through Harlem. And we stop, there's all this traffic and we're starving. We stop in Harlem and we have a pizza together.
Wow.
you and a former G8 at the time, world
Yeah.
leader,
World leader
Wow.
Stephen Harper.
eating a pizza in Harlem.
Yes. There's more, there's
No,
like
no, I
other
gotta
stuff
hear
in
the
story, but
rest.
well, what's the rest? I mean, that's it. He's like, what are you doing? Him and his
you
wife.
still friends with
Is his
him?
wife? Well, he said he
Do
gave
you
me
want to
his.
come on the show?
He gave me his email address, and he said, if you ever need anything, just don't hesitate.
This story better be real.
Did he know you were an actor? Did that
Did he
come out?
recognize you from Suits?
We talked about it. I had worked for CBC, which was, so like. I
So
don't
maybe
know.
maybe there was a little trust factor. He's like, oh, this guy's an actor.
He's part of the propaganda of our nation. Yeah, no, I mean, like, I don't think he knew anything I had done. I think he had heard of the show Suits. Maybe he
Right.
had seen some episodes. But I was more impressed with his job than he was with mine.
Fair.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Did you check a bag?
No.
Okay, because imagine he's like, you can get a ride with me, and you're like, cool, and then he has to wait for you for 45 minutes for your bags to come.
But he paid for my pizza.
He did.
And we were gonna go. He's like, "What are you doing while you're here?" I'm like, "I want to go see." I want to go see. I was confused, and I thought that Denzel Washington is doing Othello with Jake Gyllenhaal as Iago on Broadway. That's opening, I think, next year. I thought it was already open. And I'm like, I want to go see that. He's like, that sounds amazing. Let's go. Come with my wife and I, and you and your girlfriend will all go together. And
Who's this guy's best friend?
I was like, oh my God, am I going to go see Othello with Stephen Harper? Then, so I get back to with my girlfriend. I'm like, Hill, should we do this? She's like, absolutely yes. I email him. He responds. He goes, I'm so sorry, but he sent me this really nice email, first of all, like wrote way more, was so charming and complimentary.
He used ChatGPT.
Oh my God, I bet. But he had to fly out to England last minute.
So this is recent.
Wouldn't that be
This is
funny
this
if you
past
still
summer.
saw him around New York?
Yeah.
He was
Just getting a coffee. It's like, hey man,
Hey, Steven, you
thought
said you
you
were going to
flying
England.
to England.
Oh yeah, last minute it was
Canceled. Yeah.
He's having lunch with Shia LaBeouf, though.
Yeah, we have more parties than y'all. So.
So that's my one story.
Wow.
Wow. Mr. Steven Harper. Okay.
Do you ask like questions to verify?
Yeah,
We kinda like to
do.
poke
yeah,
little
we
holes.
like to poke. We like to know.
Okay.
Okay, what kind of pizza did you guys get?
Well, I'm a vegetarian, so I just got a cheese pizza. We didn't get to go to like my favorite pizza place in New York. We just stopped at the one that was there.
Did you tell him it's not as good as the one I go here a lot?
Yeah, he didn't know New York pizza, and I was like, this is a shame that we're having this and not, what is it called, Joe's? What's the
That's
one?
one of the there's a bunch, exactly.
Is it Joe's or is it John's?
I've got a list on my phone, and maybe with the laugh track, it'll be right here for you YouTube watchers.
Anyways, he got like a meat lovers, which we were joking about because I told him I'm a vegetarian, and he was like, I'm sorry.
But I love this because it's like, you're a Democrat by American standards. He's a Republican.
Yes.
You guys are doing your stereotypical...
We were politically opposed, and I was challenging him on all of these issues, and he was... I mean, I guess that's like his whole life.
And what did he say about gay marriage?
Okay.
He said they're living in sin?
No.
Oh.
Well, first of all, we talked about faith because he's Catholic, I guess, and he talked about coming from... Because now I guess he supports gay marriage.
Oh, good.
I guess. And he said, coming from a life of faith, it took me a long time to sort of get there. And also then he talked about how most of his, what do you call it, base or constituents or whatever, people that his voting base is in places like Alberta, in the middle of the country, where most of those people were not for gay marriage. And I was like, oh, so you have no backbone.
Like, he admitted that he ate pandas.
Liar.
You said that to him over pizza?
I think I made a joke and I said, this was on the plane. And I said, hey, nice backbone you got there. Just kind of caving your values to keep your base voting for you. And he was like, this is the first time, this doesn't happen in person. This usually happens over Twitter. And he kind of was like, he was like, this is kind of cool. I'm like, yeah. He was like, fair point. I honestly, I was so impressed, but I guess that's his whole job. He's not surprised that someone disagrees with him.
Right. Did it change your outlook? Like, now when people bring up Stephen Harper and say, oh, I hate that guy, are you like, well, you know what? When I met him, he was cool to me. Or how are you able to separate the man from the political history?
Yeah, I do. I think that is interesting. Yeah, I think I do sort of separate. It's cool that we can disagree and I can vote differently, but we can still be humane as human beings. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to golf with Stalin. Good golfer.
Speaking of Joe Louis,
no.
any other holes you want to poke in that one?
I'm saving some of my holes.
Yeah, I'll listen to the next one.
Okay, second story.
Second story. Let's go. Woo!
Okay, how's this going, by the way? Is this okay?
You're doing
this
so
is
good.
Lovely.
Okay. Second story.
He's picking which lie he's gonna do.
Or which truth from his memories.
I used to be a hacker, and I met this guy called Morpheus. Okay.
Listeners who are wondering if their audio cut out, David is thinking.
I thought you were going to edit this.
No, we can't.
You leave all of my pauses.
It's a live.
100%.
You two are just like on fire, and every time I talk, I'm like,
We're wearing different clothes than when we shot it on the day. It's clearly pickup shots.
Okay.
I am going to edit this.
It's weird. I've had a coffee, now I'm sitting. Usually I'm moving, and I'm like kind of freaking out. Like,
usually I'm fucking, but
I'm not a sit still kind of person. This is the sort of why they wanted to diagnose me with ADHD.
Yeah.
Which every partner I've ever had is like, you definitely have ADHD.
Yeah, get this guy on Adderall.
And I did take Adderall one time, and it really helped, but I found it boring. But it really, I was like, wow, I sat at a computer for like 2 hours. I'm like, I've never done that before.
2 hours. I you're going to say like 15 hours.
No, 2 hours. And I was like, when's the last time I did this? And I realized I've never done that. And I was like, how long do I usually sit? And I'm like, I've never sat for longer than 15 minutes in my life.
Do you want to get up and take a little walk
Yeah,
around the table?
Woo!
Just have a little walk around the table.
Are all the cameras still working?
Oh, let me see.
I wonder how many times we can get him to go around this table.
That's the secret game. Okay.
There you go. Refreshed, energized.
You'd be a good teacher.
Yeah, right? I know.
You really would.
I know.
It's a shame that
I hate kids.
All of us are drawn to this kind of narcissistic, we want attention because all of these skills. Sorry, what's this show called again?
Projecting.
Can we cut this? Can we take this out of here for a second?
That's a misspelling, is it?
What would you have done? What would you have done if you weren't whatever this is?
I wasn't yapping away under my own name.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Exactly.
It's weird that we have such a lack of imagination, considering that we're story creators.
Yeah,
I can't.
Not me. I'd be a taxidermist / prison guard. By day I'm guarding them. By night I'm stuffing them.
Oh, very well done. Okay.
Well done, old chap. Now back to Joe Louis.
This is a story about an argument I had with a girlfriend when I was in my early 20s.
Okay.
It was like 19 or 12. It was in my early 20s.
It's a good age for men.
Yeah.
I know this will be good.
So I was with my girlfriend, and we were at a party, a house party. And I had just moved to Toronto, and we were going to my friend Morgan's girlfriend's birthday party. So we show up, and her and I, the whole walk over there, it's like 16 blocks from my place. The whole walk over there, we're having some fight. I don't remember what the fight was about. We're having some fight, and it's just driving me bonkers. We get to the party, and she's giving me like kind of silent treatment. And I'm like, at this party, I'm being like, jovial. I'm trying to like
Joe Louis.
I'm being exactly like Joe Louis. And she's like mad, and she's like sitting there like all silent and mad.
Oh, is this her friend's party or is this your
This is my friend's party,
Okay,
and she's being there all mad at me. And again, I don't remember. I promise you, the fight was not a big deal. It was something like...
I cheated on her.
It was something like... Yeah, I had turned her father into the cops for something. No, it was something irrelevant, which is why I was so annoyed. I'm like, we could just, like, I get it. We could just move past this. Anyways. She's like, I don't want to stay here. I want to go.
Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, here are my keys. I give her my house keys, and I'm like, go back to my place. I'll come later. I'll be here. Whatever. She's like, are you, like, she's so mad. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, go. So inside, I want this fight to end.
Right.
She leaves, and I hatch a plan. I'm like, I know what to do to stop this fight. She leaves, and then I leave out the back door of this party. And she's walking the 16 blocks back to my place, and I book it. I run. I go down a back alley so I can go past her. I get to my place like 5 minutes before her. She's got my keys. She doesn't know I hide keys in the backyard.
Uh-oh.
So I go and I get those keys, and I let myself in the back way. I go and I take off everything I'm wearing, and I hide it, and I get into bed.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So when she comes in, she opens the door to my room, and I go, what? And she goes, oh my god. And I'm like, what? Babe, what are you doing? What are you doing here? She's like, what? What are you doing? What are you doing here? And I go, what do you mean? What do you mean, what am I doing here? I'm sleeping. What's going on? You okay? And she's like, we know. And I just see that reality, like she's just totally lost grip on what has happened. She's like, we were just at no, she turns on the light. I'm like, why are you turning on the light? She's like, we were just at Morgan's party. How are you here? I'm like, Morgan's party? That's tomorrow night.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Gaslighting and making someone assume they're insane.
This is gaslighting. This is gaslighting.
This is gaslighting.
This is gaslighting, but it's gaslighting with a purpose. It's kind of like
this is gaslighting as an actor, where you just created a whole script.
New reality.
Gaslighting is wrong, but I always intended to tell her the truth. I just wanted to disrupt the pattern by doing something drastic.
You like with the bullying, making the patsy do your lies. You wanted her to live truthfully in this.
Yeah,
insane...
you just wanted to manipulate her with a lie.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely the good guy here.
To eventual forgiveness.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly. And so, anyways, at some point, I go, babe, I told her what I did. I had run home, and she was laughing, and we kind of thing, and then the fight was over.
How long did it last? The conversation where she thought.
I think I let it go on for like 10 minutes. I was looking for signs of distress. Like she was more mystified than like, oh my God, I don't know what's real anymore.
I had a psychotic break.
Yeah, I was avoiding. I was like, right before the psychotic break from reality, I'm gonna let her know.
What did she think happened?
Oh my God, David, you're insane.
She didn't know what to make of it.
Like, was I? Because I'd be like, was I actually outside? Was I? Like,
Yeah, why do I have your keys?
Like, am I just sleepwalking and I woke up now and turned on the light?
But here's the thing. This is so funny. We won't talk about this now, but this is similar to some prank I played on you years ago.
Yes.
Maybe for another episode of some other show.
Ooh,
I would love to do it.
foreshadowing.
Maybe we do a special on that.
We'll do a special on
Just
that.
on that one story? Do we have to have another story?
No. On what David's alluding to.
Okay.
Click the link here if you want to be notified when that episode airs about this story.
Ooh, nice.
It's just a mailing list.
But I'll say yeah. That's the story. What else do I have to say about it?
I've got some questions.
Yeah, was she mad when you were like,
Are
hey,
you seeing a therapist by chance?
I have been seeing a therapist, but not like, I hadn't been seeing therapy at that point. Afterwards, I've seen a therapist.
If listeners want
never told
also
her that story.
If listeners want the same therapist of you, are you going to link that in the
Link below to talk to my therapist and ask if I've ever told this story. I've been gaslighting my therapist for years.
Amazing. There you go.
Falling right into my trap.
my trap where I pay her $80 an hour?
Yeah. Do you think that's like really a sick thing to have done?
I mean, I think that's a pretty typical 19-year-old boy thing to have done.
Brilliant 19-year-old boy.
I mean, it's
thing.
definitely
funny
an actor,
and insane. It's
an
funny.
actor who has ADHD and is...
Yeah, it's on brand.
Yeah.
It would be insane if I think it'd be cruel if you never revealed
Yeah.
that, like, if you really let it go on for weeks, maybe years.
Yeah. No. I would not have done that.
Because knowing you from your story before, you kept doing it till you got caught. So, like, at what point would you
Although,
just keep bending reality?
My niece, who is 19, just found out that my right arm is not a robot arm. That since she was 4, I always told her that this was a robot arm.
Wow, what is it with people telling kids that they're robots? My sister told me that.
That she was a robot?
She said everybody in our family was a robot except for me, and I was peeing and I started crying.
You were the
on
only
toilet.
human?
I was the only human, and I was like crying on the
You will never be one of us.
It's essentially that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I reminded her of that the other day. Yeah, so there you go. I guess every child thinks that they're...
What did she do to prove to you that she was a robot?
Absolutely nothing. I took her word for it.
See, I sacrificed for my lives because I would let my niece pinch my arm.
As hard as
or use a fork, and I would just take it. And she was like, "You let me stab you with a fork." Because when it didn't like it, she was 18 and we were at the dinner table.
She was 18 when you told her this?
No,
Oh.
she hadn't thought of it in years.
Oh my god!
But so she hadn't thought of it with her fully developed or more fully developed brain. And so we were at like a family dinner, and something came up, and she's like, "Oh yeah, like David's robot arm." And everyone was like, "What?" And then she heard herself and was like, "Wait, what? He's got a robot." No one...
Like, you had told her you lost an arm in an accident?
Amazing.
I had said that I had injured it and it needed to be like replaced with a lot of metal inorganic parts. And she was
Life
like...
is built on lies.
And she was like, I would pinch your arm so hard and stab it.
And I love that she just like had accepted that as fact.
Yeah.
So
And when she
long.
was a little kid, she'd be like, "Hey, can I pinch your arm?" I'd be like, "Yeah." And it would hurt a lot, and I would just take it.
You were like, I'm Darth
Wow.
Vader.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dark Vader.
Dark Vader.
You just found out that it's not Darth
I
Vader.
said Darth.
Oh, okay.
I just sometimes have a lisp.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Sorry.
bullying.
Oh,
I take off my pants?
Well, I'm known to kick people in faces.
That's true.
Oh, sorry. Maybe
Wow.
bad
Okay.
people.
So, I think I know which one I think is the lie.
I told too many stories because like the niece thing is like
You shuffled the deck of...
Yeah, you shoveled the deck a little bit. Okay, wait. I have more questions. Was it a birthday party for this Morgan, or was it just a friendly get-together?
It was a birthday party for Morgan's girlfriend, Tanya.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Okay.
What about my other story?
So just for everyone to remember, it was the sitting next to Stephen Harper on the plane
Sitting
or
next to
the
Stephen
gaslighting
Harper.
his girlfriend
I don't know if I believe that Stephen Harper was sitting in
economy.
unless, I don't know, maybe Canadian money just isn't that bad.
They definitely don't get paid like after a president in the U.S. Like they get $400,000 a year to be president, but after that they go on like hundreds of millions of dollars, like speaking tour, book sales. Like you're set for life. But Canadian prime ministers, you're not getting that rich.
No, I don't.
And I think you, as a politician, you want to prove that you're a man of the people and kind of like
Right.
mingle with the commoners. What's that from?
Uh,
Mingle with the commoners. That's from.
I don't remember.
oh, that's Othello with Jake Gyllenhaal. That premieres next year. I think personally, do you know which one you think is the lie, or do you have any more holes to
You know
poke?
what? No. I'm still deciding.
Okay.
I'm still deciding. I'm thinking. I think the Lion King story might have been a lie.
I was presented
Yeah,
to the
presented.
community. I said shaman. Which one? Which one do you think? Because I could maybe provide more evidence. Which one are you leaning towards? I have the email from Stephen Harper.
Okay, show us. I won't show the screen, obviously, but
No, I'm going to read it to you.
okay, this guy comes prepared.
This could be
Just when we
ChatGPT.
think we got him by the
Patotoi.
So I had written. By the way, he said call him Steve.
Oh.
okay,
So I had written, "Hey Steve, nice to meet you. I'd love to whatever go to the
take you to a better pizza plot.
Here's what he wrote back to me.
This is a cease and desist. Do not contact me again.
David, the pleasure was all mine. Speaking with someone brilliant is always a joy. And in my line of work, I rarely get to. In terms of what you said about running for office in another life, your charisma and intellectual horsepower would almost
This
guarantee
is
you success.
ChatGPT, and you put in these prompts.
However, I have found it is the people who should run for office that never would. It seems to me you are taking a much higher path.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I had to leave abruptly and go to London unexpectedly after my conference yesterday. You asked me if being a world leader was a bit much for a job after all. I repeated that to Laureen, his wife, who laughed out loud, because the answer is yes when it comes to things like this. I would have loved to meet your partner and see Othello. Laureen, too. My faith is that we will meet again. I have lived a full life and met many different kinds of people that I thought... Oh, wait, hang on a second. Many different kinds of people. I have never met anyone like you.
This is a lie.
No.
I learned more from our conversation yesterday than I have in many years. I shouldn't have read this. This makes it seem like a lie.
This is a lie.
What a special way to begin my 66th year. Be in touch if you ever find yourself needing something. If I'm ever in Toronto, we will have to get a sandwich together.
Okay.
Your friend, Steve.
I love his jab that he says, in my line of work, I don't meet too many brilliant people. Like, that's a jab at all politicians. I kind of like that. Telling David he's the most brilliant man on the face of the earth.
And that he's...
This guy's met, like...
I shouldn't have read that. I don't believe it anymore. Now that I read that. I really thought that was going to help, and I'm like, wait. Because he was too...
You're not only a great actor, but a great man. A brave man. Maybe the bravest man I ever knew. And if you said he's ever in Toronto, he's a former prime minister. Toronto is Canada's New York. It's our biggest city. He'd be in Toronto probably every 6 weeks.
I think he doesn't want to hang out with you, man.
I don't think he lives in Toronto. I don't know where he lives.
Alberta, I think.
Yeah.
You should know. You're his friend.
Okay, so what's the verdict?
All right.
You go first.
I thought the first story was a lie, but I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I know, and if we can bleep these out if I'm giving too much away. I know that your girlfriend, Hillary, lives in Montreal. You said my girlfriend lived on the Upper West Side of New York, and I was going to visit her.
No, she was staying there.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard that, but he's got instant
I'm not
defense.
insane.
You're not going to be sloppy.
I'm not gonna. I know what you know.
You learned from your mistakes lying as a kid.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Then maybe I've been rebutted. That's what I thought. That's what I thought I had you.
I don't know. I think the second story is true. When he ran home and convinced his gaslit his girlfriend, and then only waited until she looked like she was going to have a psychotic break to tell her the truth. Yeah,
It's also crazy. If I ever saw a guy get to my party, let's say I'm Morgan's boyfriend, girlfriend. I see David get to the party alone, frantically sprint up the stairs, run out the back door, and I never see him the rest of the night, because that's what he did.
Yeah.
I would be like,
Did you say bye to anybody?
Yeah, I think I said to Morgan, I gotta go.
But through the back door, I'd be like, someone just left a bomb in my house. I don't know what's going to happen here.
That would be your
My anxiety,
thinking that
yeah. I'd be
you
like,
think
what just
everything's a
happened?
bomb.
I also live on the 38th floor. So I think David just committed suicide in my house.
Okay. All right. My final answer is... Actually, no. Wait. Audience, please decide. Pause the video. Think about it. Ruminate a little bit. What do you think is truth and lie? You know, to tell your neighbor, tell your friend, say it out loud. If you're on YouTube, you can comment down below which you think is true and which is a lie. I think the second story is a lie. I changed my mind.
You changed your mind.
I changed my mind.
You think Harper's true.
I think Harper
Harper's
might
true.
be true.
Gaslight is a lie.
Gaslight.
I
is a
think
lie.
Harper is a lie. Everything was perfect, but he didn't proofread his ChatGPT generated Stephen Harper message until he read it live on the air. That's a fucking lie.
Okay, so we have one for each. So the audience's vote is going to really count for
Yeah.
Yeah, so seriously.
whether or not I've succeeded in pulling the wool over eyes or not.
David?
All right. We should probably get that put in at some point. Or do you guys like when I do
I
it?
like
I'm
it. I
pretty
think it's
good
cute
at
when
it,
you do
right?
it.
I think I'm stellar at it. Okay, anyway.
What is that? Machine guns?
Yeah. It's machine guns.
I think it should be machine guns instead of a snare drum.
Oh, into the air. I like that. That's
Yeah,
better
yeah.
than Alexa shooting into the crowd.
Okay,
Big reveal?
I have never shared a pizza with an ex-prime minister.
Oh,
Oh!
But that email is an email from Stephen Harper to the person that story did
What?
happen to.
wow.
It was a true story?
True story, 100% true, and that is an actual email from Stephen Harper.
Holy smokes. He sent in trust to someone he liked who then they gave to you and aired it on the air.
Yeah.
Oh,
What a
Oh, wait,
twist.
is that bad?
what a twist.
You didn't name any names.
Damn.
True.
I was
Can you tell
right
us?
the first time. Always trust your gut.
So everything sitting next to him on the plane, challenge them on gay marriage?
Wow.
Yes, Singers Challenge on Gay Marriage. Him saying she was brilliant. This is a woman this happened
Oh.
to. And she is brilliant. And
Sharing the limo and the pizza?
sharing the limo, sharing the pizza, stopping for pizza in Harlem.
And they would have all seen Othello?
Seeing Othello.
They did see Othello.
No, they were
Oh.
going to see Othello.
So everything was
Wow.
true, but it just wasn't you.
Everything was true, but it wasn't
Wow.
me.
Can I ask
A
if the
true
person is also
stolen
an
story.
actor?
The person is not an actor. That's why they said
They're a
you-
nuclear physicist
No,
or
that's
something?
when he said you're following a much higher path. I'm like, this is obviously not about me. I'm an actor.
But maybe because you're living your truth or something.
There is no higher path.
I thought he was just
acting
like,
in politics. Neither of those are a higher.
I thought
path.
he was just being nice when he said that shit. I was like,
Can you tell us what the person does, or is that too much information?
They are a writer and research academic researcher.
that would be
That
a
makes
higher
sense to the
path
brilliant-
versus politician. Sorry.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
He got, I mean, I guess
Got
no,
me.
he didn't. I did
I
it right.
feel
Why am I saying he
gaslighted.
got us?
Yeah.
Do you feel gaslit?
You're
I feel
gaslight.
gaslit.
That's the feeling. That's the feeling that I offer to people.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
But I always let you know that it's happened.
yes.
I'm still a liar, but now I'm like a liar with a heart of gold.
Wow.
Yeah, somehow it comes across
I lie
charming.
from the rich and give to the poor. What? But yeah. I do think you can't really change the things about you. You just got to use them for good.
You can change them. Work out. Get some braces.
You've always looked exactly the same.
Since I was a boy.
Yeah.
I always had these bags on my...
Same dinky.
Same size dinky. That I can confirm.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
I'm upset. I don't like losing.
I'm sorry,
I'll be
Alexa.
honest.
We'll have to have him back sometime.
Yes. Yeah.
To get our revenge.
To get our revenge.
Actually, I don't need
I don't know
revenge.
how.
I'm not
you
Darth
won.
Vader.
Hang on. This
Darth
is your
Vader.
show. You told me to come on and lie to you.
I know, but
We
I don't
feel
like
hurt.
when I don't win. I like to win.
We should find out what the track record is. Because I feel like...
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I
Maybe
think
we should have a
I'm winning.
scoreboard
We should
up
have a little
here.
scoreboard somewhere.
Yeah. Alexa 1, Ian 0. Alexa 12, Ian.
What? How many episodes
Negative
have you?
one.
How many
I
episodes?
think this
have
is
you done?
episode 11.
Oh my gosh, I've lost track. Yeah, I don't
think so.
remember. Yeah, I guess episode 11.
Yeah.
12.
11 or 12.
No, I think it's 10.
Well, people know who are looking at it now on their Spotify.
Whatever episode number you clicked, I guess
There's been a half dozen lies. And that's what's so fun about our show. You can go back and listen. You know, it's not like you need... Nothing's topical. People are always lying. Tons of people from entertainment. You can always go back. I'm clearly just trying to sell... Keep streaming. We need the dough. We don't even have airlines sponsoring us.
Download. Yeah, if anybody wants to sponsor. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for coming on and lying to our faces. You were so good at it.
David, where can the people find you?
I have... Oh, yeah. I have a new series coming out on Crave.
What?
Called My Dead Mom.
Are you lying?
Starring Lauren Collins and Megan Follows.
Amazing. Oh, Megan Follows was on Rain.
Megan Follows on Rain. Megan Follows is the original Anne of Green Gables.
Wow.
And Lauren Collins, Degrassi.
Lauren Collins from Degrassi. Yeah.
Wow.
That's coming out. I don't know when this comes out. That comes out this fall, the fall of 2024.
Yeah, that's
on Crave.
That's right now.
On Crave. Yeah. Wow.
I am not playing a bully in that. I am playing a doctor and a loving son.
Oh, and what's your character's name?
I forget.
That is so typical. I love
David
that.
really gives it his all at this point in his career.
I once did an interview for a movie that I did, and I completely forgot my character's name.
Oh my god!
And I was mid-interview when I realized I didn't remember my character's name.
Yeah.
You know why?
There you go.
Because everyone was a robot but you.
Pinch my arm. See if you can get... Go ahead. I'll show you what I did. Here, pinch my arm as hard as you want. I'll show you if I can handle it. See if you would believe that it was a...
You want me to hurt you on the air?
Yeah. Hurt me on air. See if I can... See if I could hold up.
Do you actually want me to try and pinch you really hard?
Yeah.
All right, everyone.
This is a robot arm. Third story.
There you go.
We find his other arm.
Pull on the hair.
Oh, I'm pinching fully. I'm using my nail.
He's not even full.
I was an older brother, so I know how to pinch and bully.
Would you be saying ow right now if you were
Fuck me? Yeah, I think so, or I'm very weak.
That's because it's a robot. It's a robot arm.
This
Alexa.
may be a robot arm.
It's a robot arm.
I was wrong. I'm now with the cousin. This is a robot arm.
This is a robot arm, Alexa.
We are
this
robots.
is a very boy thing to be doing.
Hurt me, man. Punch me. I won't even...
A robot to make a very good American child. Can work long hours.
Amazing. Thank you for doing that impression again, sweetie.
Everyone in the audience loves it. Right? Why does that other guy not want to be here?
Insert a laugh track after that. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Steele My Story. Please like, subscribe if you're on YouTube, comment if you're following us on Apple or Spotify. Please download, subscribe.
Give us a review. Give David a review specifically on our pod.
How did I do?
Yeah, let him know how he
name?
did.
Yeah.
Do you think I am a sociopath for what I did to my girlfriend?
Yes, answer that.
Yeah, that's a...
Ideally in a YouTube comment
Playful.
or on Apple Podcast in a review, in a 5-star review.
Yeah.
Was it
give us 5
playful
stars.
for love?
Was it tasteful?
Tasteful, playful for love, or deceptive and...
And next time we have you back, we'll give you the
red
answer.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone hated you.
Yeah, great.
Oh, yeah, and follow us on Instagram and TikTok, Steele My Story Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Till next time. Bye.